Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. According to statements made by Ukraine's allies and friends, sponsors, and commanders, Ukraine is not doing very well. And when I say Ukraine, I'm saying the leaders, the guys in charge of the Ukrainian nation. I love not the leaders, though, because I think they are on the payroll of other interests, not doing the bidding of the Ukrainian nation. And if you think that's the case, that they are helping the Ukrainian nation, good for you. I have a different assessment on the situation. So what's going on now? The Ukrainians did not succeed with their counteroffensive. That's clear. I think it's 99% certain. It's done. On the contrary, the Russians are invading and advancing in Kupiansk in the north. The Ukrainians are evacuating about 32 settlements, including Kupiansk in Kharkiv Oblast. That tells us that they're not doing very well. I'm being nice instead of saying they suck, okay? So they're losing. More or less. The problem is the Western countries provided Ukraine with weapons, and no positive result. The only ace that they got right now in the sleeve is the F-16s, which I think is not going to be any asset for the Ukrainians. I think they will be just blown out from the sky. That's an old plane, and not only that, what do you think? 50 F-16s will do wonders? I don't think so. That's the first one. The second one, they will receive some Abrams tanks, about 31, which is 0. Why? Because they will perform probably the same way as the Leopard 2, the most advanced ones, performed. Boom, boom, boom. Now the Ukrainians took them back. And the Challenger 2, the British. Don't put the Challenger in the risky operations. That's what the Brits said about their tanks. That's a war, mofo. You're supposed to. Oh, we're afraid they're going to be blown up, and then people will see that they suck, and they will not make orders, and then we're going to lose money. Our military industrial complex, we're going to suck. Yeah, that's exactly what they're afraid. So they will have what? The Taurus long-range German missiles that these idiots, I gotta say, the German weasels, the leadership, will supply the Ukrainians for. And they will, the Ukrainians, I guarantee you, 99%. I don't like to say 100, but I will tell you 99. They will hit Moscow with them. And if they can hit Moscow, I don't know what's going to be next. Will Moscow hit Berlin? What's going to happen? That's very dangerous. But hey, idiots are idiots. They kept pushing, from the condoms into helmets, then with bullets, then with whatever those are called, and then with howitzers, then with HIMARS, then with armored fighting vehicles, then with Patriot systems, then with tanks, then with airplanes, then with short-range missiles, mid-range missiles, long-range missiles. What's next? Troops on the ground, which I have a gut feeling they're already there, as volunteers and who knows what, peacekeeping violin players. And what's next? Nuclear weapons, they will not get them. But everything else, they will. What do you want? And you're still not beating Russia. All these NATO countries are still not able to break through the Russian defenses now that they are in a counteroffensive. Right, so now you have Poland. Poland has its own interest. Don't fool yourself. Don't kid yourselves. Poland has two interests. One, destroy Russia. Second, get Lviv and the other side of Western Ukraine. These are the interests. You don't think so? Wait. Patience is a virtue. And you're not going to come and say, sorry, Emil, you were right. I know. That's why I'm patient. I'm just kidding. Not. You'll see. So, Poland now comes and says, actually, Ukraine's counteroffensive sucks. So if your backers, if your sponsors, if your weasels, your own team says, you're kind of losing, man, I don't know you, like St. Peter said 3 times, I don't know that guy. No, I don't know that guy. I haven't been with that guy. Peter, what did you do? Well, I did what he said I will do. Deny him 3 times. Well, that's what Poland is doing right now, together with many other countries. Let me read you this little article. So, Russia Today. August 10. Poland admits Ukraine's counteroffensive won't succeed. And the reason is, doesn't have enough weapons. Well, you guys are depleted already. What do you mean? So NATO, I'm not going to talk about Ukraine, is NATO weapons. So NATO poured in Ukraine all the weapons it can pour, and these guys are not doing the job. That means destroying Russia. Then what? What's the next option? Continue the same shit? And these guys are saying, I don't think that they have enough weapons. And then what? So let's see what the polls are suggesting here. Kiev doesn't have enough weapons to, quote unquote, change the balance of the war. Then stop! Go and talk with the idiots, no? President Andrzej Duda has said, Polish president, one of Kiev's most ardent foreign backers, for the reasons I mentioned, has predicted that Ukraine's counteroffensive against Russian forces will likely fail. Duda, like his counterpart in Kiev, claimed that even more Western weapons were the answer. Okay, give them more. Doing the same thing and expect a different outcome is the definition of insanity. And I'm quoting, does Ukraine have enough weapons to change the balance of the war and get the upper hand? End quote, Duda asked the newspaper in an interview published on Thursday before answering, and I'm quoting, probably no. Then what's the other option? Keep doing the same shit? And I'm quoting, we know, okay, this by the fact that they are not currently able to carry out a very, ignore this, a decisive counteroffensive against the Russian military. What do you mean very? So they are carrying out a decisive counteroffensive, but it's not very. What are you talking about? Against the Russian military. Again, they could have just cut this out. Very. Carry out a very decisive. So if you take that out, remains carry out a decisive. So they are carrying out a decisive, but not very decisive. Oh my God. He continued, and I'm quoting, to make a long story short, they need more assistance. Weapons to save lives. Okay, so this is what these guys are saying, my friends. What do you think they should do? This is what I think they should do, but they will not do that. Why? Because they got the bull by the horns, and if they let it go, what do you think the bull is gonna do? Hop, zap, rapazap. It's gonna hit them. And they cannot, neither side can accept defeat. When this is gonna be over, both sides, because I don't think the Russians will lose. Why? They still have nuclear weapons, and as long as you destroyed about 300 Russian leadership positions and you just overthrow the government and all that in one night, those guys cannot lose. They're going to use nuclear weapons if they're cornered, and that's it. These guys can lose, or they could be at it forever. Well, forever meaning more taxes from us for them. I think the public will say, where's my Coca-Cola? Where's my beer, honey? Well, Ukraine, Ukraine, I want my beer. Oh, nom. That's how I think it's going to end. Oh, I'm going to pay for electricity so much. Jesus Christ. Where's the money going to? Ukraine, give me my... I saw that in other instances. Anyway, so what they should do, they say, okay, you know what? We know, and this is the weasel talk, talking to Putin. We know we're beating you up, but we offer you to, so we don't want to keep you blooding in your nose. We're going to stop attacking you and we're going to talk, okay? We give you this because we don't want to kill you. And the Putin is going to be like, okay, shoot, tell me. Okay, let's talk. And Ukraine agreed to that, right? Zelensky, shut up. We're talking here. We're going to talk and we're going to see how we solve the Donbass, the Crimea, and we're going to be friends for a while. And after you die, we try to, abracadabra, I'm going to reach you and grab you by the balls. Anyway, so here it is, my friends. That's going to be the solution. It's going to be too late. The Russians, I hope they learned the lesson by having so many troops and Russian killed and how many Ukrainians killed. Learn the lesson that these guys are there to get you. Not to, we just time out for a little second. No, that's it. But hey, I don't have, unfortunately, too much trust in these guys because they still kept calling the Westerners partners. Those guys want to pull on you a Mussolini or a, what's his name, Gaddafi, and you call them partners? Are you crazy? Why don't you use the right terms? Enemy. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.